And we're live. Welcome, everyone, to the Awesome Dynamic Show. It's our webinar where we help folks with their online presence. With me today, we have, as always, Robin. And it looks like, oh, Robin, you're still there, right? There
Hello.
you are. All right. We have Blake. Say hello, Blake.
Hey, peoples.
All right. And we also got Terry.
Good afternoon.
All right, and Robin does she runs the SEO for Awesome Dynamic. Blake helps out in the SEO area and also with some of our Amazon stuff. And Terry's learning as he's doing sales. He's the director of sales for Awesome Dynamic, so he's learning about anything and everything we do, so he can talk to people about that. As always, you're able to ask questions by clicking on the Ask a Question button on the lower right-hand corner of the screen, and any question that you have about your online presence, why you might not be ranking in front of somebody, things that you can do to improve your website, etc. We'd be happy to help you out on those different items. So with that being said, I want to quickly go over what does Awesome Dynamic do. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to pull up awesomedynamic.com. We'll go over to the Awesome Dynamic Academy in just a moment, but here we see that Awesome Dynamic, we do search engine optimization, helping your business get found on Google, responsive web design, which is mobile-friendly web design, Amazon seller consulting, getting your product seen by millions on Amazon, Google Maps, Business View, which is a virtual tour of your business on Google, and we also have the Awesome Dynamic Academy, which is one of the ways we do help. And you see, Robin, look at the page change. Jess has been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the three forms of SEO we offer is the Awesome Dynamic Academy, where you essentially do-it-yourself SEO. We also have consulting that we do, and we also have full service. So those are the three ways we offer search engine optimization. So this Awesome Dynamic Academy, there will be a button here very soon. I think that's going to happen later on tonight. But that brings you to the Awesome Dynamic Academy, which Robin, Blake, now Jessica, my wife, have been working on getting this together. It's a do-it-yourself model of SEO where you essentially are able to control your own destiny online. We have many, many different lessons here that we've prepared, including videos. You can see there's an example unit right here. You can see it's quite comprehensive, several videos. It tells you how to do all these different things. We have many lessons, and it's constantly growing and changing. And this is all for the low, low price of $50 a month. And with that $50 a month subscription, we'll send you ranking reports, and you'll be able to ask questions in these webinars. We have a support forum. We have a ticketing system, so you're able to do a lot of this stuff on your own and be a member of the Awesome Dynamic Academy to get all those benefits. So that's a cool thing that should be ready to rock and roll very soon. Let's see here. Robin, did I miss anything?
You can review us.
That's right. Review us. So if you have any if you find what we're telling you in these webinars to be valuable, we ask that you leave a review on Awesome Dynamic. So if you go to Awesome Dynamic and click on our Google button at the bottom here, it'll bring us to our Google page, and you can write a review. I can't write a review for myself. Just click this button, write a review, and say Awesome Dynamic is awesome. And you could say a lot more specific stuff than that. But please leave us a review if you find this information valuable. All right, so we have a few topics that we'd like to cover. So anybody that is attending this webinar, if you do ask your questions, we'll definitely cover those at the appropriate time. But there's a few things we'd like to go through, and those three things are going to be claiming and optimizing your listing on Factual, filling out the correct filling out or correcting your citations online, and checking your backlink profile. And these are all going to be lessons in the Awesome Dynamic Academy as well, so parts of this video will be cut up and put into the Awesome Dynamic Academy. So with that being said, I think we'll start with the factual thing, and I'm going to keep my screen shared. So I'm going to force my screen to present, and we're going to start with factual. So first off, just a little overview of why citations are important. Essentially, citations are your directory listing online of your name, address, and phone number. And it's very important that the name, address, and phone number of your business online matches your Google listing exactly. So if we take a look, the example that we're going to use today is Closet Organizer Systems. They're a client of ours. And what we're going to do is fill out factual, and this is a data aggregator website. We'll actually blast out citations to many other sources by just filling this one out. So filling this one can really affect a lot of other places that your name, address, and phone number are on the internet. And it's also very highly regarded because they manually check any submissions that come to the site. So there's actually real people who check this. Now, Robin pulled up a very cool thing on her screen. I want to kind of give you an idea of how all these things work together. So I'm going to switch over to yours, Robin. I'll take a look at what Robin has here. And this is a really neat graphic that shows how everything works in SEO in terms of local listings. So the reason why we want the name, address, and phone number to be exactly the same is because the more items or different directory listings that are out there on the internet that match your local listing with Google exactly, the more you'll rank prominently in local search results that come up for folks that are searching for what you do. So you can see that Google Local's in the middle here, but if you look in the lower right corner, you see Factual down there. So they're a major player of providing information to a lot of other places. You see all the little arrows going in and out of them down there. So, Robin, did you want to comment on what I've said so far, if I missed anything?
Yeah, just a little bit of background on factual is that the only thing they do is take raw data and make it usable on the internet. So they actually have people that like real people that go and verify your business listing. Sometimes they'll email you, sometimes they'll call you. So they're actually one of the most trusted sources of citations, or they're really a data aggregator. And so if you fill out your factual correctly, it's going to help you down the line because it's going to fill out all these smaller citations. I mean, there's tens of thousands of citations online, but if you start with these main couple ones, it's going to relay that data onto all of these smaller citation sites. So when you get to those smaller citation sites, you'll have a lot less work to do. And if you think about it, if it takes about 15 minutes a citation and you have about 10,000 citations to do, you're going to want to start with the most important ones first.
Right. So that'll save some time, right?
Right.
Exactly. So so I'm going to flip back to my screen. We're going to actually fill this out. So I'm going to go and present my screen again.
Yes, and also if you've ever wondered, how does Google have my information? I haven't even filled out my Google Plus local page or Google My Business page yet. It's because Google pays a lot of these major players, I mean millions of dollars, in order to get that information that they've already made perfectly and verified for them. So Google doesn't actually go out with their car and take pictures and put your address by hand into Google Maps. They rely on all these other companies to take their data, just pay them, and have that information in Google.
Very good point. I'm glad you brought that up. So lots of people ask, well, I didn't do any of this. How did it show up there? And this is one way. Another way is we always talk about the idea of when you register your business with the state or your utility bills. Those are all databases of information that are queried, and that's how some of that stuff gets out there too. But getting back to factual here, what we want to do is fill out this particular citation because it's going to get blasted out to a lot of other places. And there is a how-to guide that Robin had found, which I'm going to pull up on the screen here. And Blake, I'm going to send that to you so you can put that in the show notes for this webinar. And this is how to submit your site in Factual. In fact, I'll also put that in the webinar chat for anybody who's looking at that. Here we go. All right. So this actually gives you the breakdown. So step 1, go to factual.com. Step 2, scroll to the bottom and click Contact Us. And then we're going to look for this update and add a business. And then you fill out the information. And then as soon as you hit Submit, to complete the process. And then it has some other information here. So we're going to see if this how-to guide is accurate here. And the way I got to it was just a little bit differently before this webinar, but we'll come down here to Contact Us. And awesome, we have a update, add a business, and we're able to fill out all this information here. So this is perfect. So what information are we going to fill out here? We want to match the Google listing exactly. So I'm going to pull that up. Let's see here. As it organizes systems, and we can see this is driven by the Google listing that this company has here. And we can see that it's Closet Organizer Systems, Inc. There's no period in this. There's no comma, and all that matters. And then we also have 1037 Lilac Court. There's no period after court, and court is abbreviated, Libertyville, Illinois. And then here's the phone number. So we're going to fill this out into Factual, correct, Robin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this client happens to be my dad, so I'm going to fill out the information for him. And one thing that we do when we do these citations, whether it's Factual or any other citation, is we use an email account that you don't necessarily use for everything else. And that's because that you might get a whole bunch of spam on the account, and you don't want that in your day-to-day routine. So we've created a new Gmail account. It's closets to you 6048@gmail.com. So we're going to use this specifically for this citation. So and we could use this for all the different citations. So I'm going to come over here, and my email address is going to be Blake's just giving me a little note here, which we'll get to. So I'm going to put in closets to you 60048@gmail.com.
Yeah, and one thing I like to do is have all this information like in a notepad or Word document so you can just copy and paste this over. If you're doing a ton of citations, it saves you a lot of time, and it also makes sure that you're not making any mistakes when you go through.
Yes, and Blake just chatted me, because he just said the same thing. He said a good practice for entering the address would be to copy and paste it from Google into Factual. So and Robin, we do exactly that because we have essentially local listing info sheet in like a Word document, and we're just copy paste. So this way everything's 100% accurate. So for the next step here, I was trying to highlight this to copy it, but it wasn't working. But if I go here to the Google listing here, I'm going to copy the business name, so that's going to get it exactly right. I'm going to come over here to Factual, and so the name of business. It says, how have you found your listing? Have you already found your listing in our places data? I couldn't figure out how, so let's use their data preview tool and we'll see. I have to verify I'm human. Jewelry items. Can you tell what that is? Okay, good. All right, so it wants me to search this.
And the reason they want you to search for it first is so that you don't create a duplicate by accident. Okay.
We have one. All right. So here we can see that there is a variance here. The address is good because it has CT without the period. The phone number is good. That matches exactly. And they have his real email address in there. And then the business name is not correct.
Yeah, and that's a good point on the email address is you want your real email address to show up on the listing, but in terms of creating the account, you want your spam email or your citation email.
Right. So we have put it in here, but we still need to correct it. So I'm going to say, yes, I did. And the factual ID of the most accurate listing, I think that was...
Get on the page before.
Yeah. Actually, it's at the bottom here. Factual ID. I'll copy that. All right. And how would I classify the errors found? So this is an instance where we're going to correct it. But you see, we found that it was in there. But some businesses might not be in there at all. In which case we'd say I didn't find anything. So how would I classify the errors? The business, there's duplicate listings, the business has been relocated, the business is closed, other. So I would say the error is the business name is inaccurate. Country, United States, street address. It's going to ask me to put that in there. So I'm going to copy that from here. City town, Libertyville. Again, going with the technique of copy and pasting to make sure that we're 100% accurate. I know I can type Libertyville, but always human error involved when you start typing. 608. Phone number there is right here. Business URL. And the proper format is what they have here, but if you can get the slash at the end, that would be better. So if you notice, if I visit the website, closets2u.com, it's going to automatically put the W's in there because that's the way the site's set up. And if I were to copy this and paste it into, say, a notepad here, you'll notice that the formal URL has the slash at the end there too. So http://www.closets2u.com/. So that's exactly what we want to have right here. Facebook URL. Does he have a Facebook page? I don't think my dad's a big active Facebooker. I'm pretty confident that he does not have a page. Yelp URL. I did find that he had a Yelp page, so Closet Organizer System. So here's another citation we got to change to get the get that on there. But I'm going to submit that to them. We also have the Google URL. So let's go back to his website here and click on this Google icon. This will give us the direct URL to that.
Yeah, so you should definitely fill out your Google pages first and then factual.
Right. Because everything's supposed to be matching your Google page, including what you put into factual here. And then other URL. I'm just curious if he has a Facebook page, so I don't want to skip that step if he does have one. I'm going to my Facebook. Oh, I'm not logged in.
I think you can Google search it without logging in.
Let's see. I'm already halfway there, so I'm going to keep going. Oh. Contractor. I wonder if Facebook set this up for him. Unofficial page. And I even posted something there on April 11th. Drinking beer at Closet Organizer Systems. So we'll see if this URL works without this extra stuff at the end. Slash on that. So I'll just go back to this URL here. It should work without that question mark. There we go. So I'm going to grab this. Ooh, Robin just sent me another link here. My dad apparently has a house profile. Robin, did you set that up?
No.
No? So this is and this is an example of an industry-specific citation. So and those are really helpful Oh, and unless my mom is the owner, which is technically true. All right. So other URL. So we get all sorts of things. In the world of optimization, Robin, filling out more is better, right?
Yeah, you want to make sure to fill out your citations 100%. A lot of them have pictures as well, so have those ready, or pictures of your logo. And they all take different sizes as well, so you want to make sure that your logo looks good and it's not cut off or anything once you upload it.
Excellent tips. Pro tips by Robin. All right, so I got to verify I'm not a robot here with the reCAPTCHA. Now I got to look at construction vehicles. Don't know what that is, but we got 1, 2. That's more of a farm vehicle, I would say. All right, it believes me. Submit. Thanks. All right. 6 to 8 weeks for the business data to be processed. For more details in your data, I'm going to flip back to Robin's screen here.
Yeah, and that 6 to 8 weeks, I would have if you're doing hundreds of these citations, I would have a sheet that keeps track of all of these citations, so that in 6 to 8 weeks you can go back and check specifically factual and see if they changed it, and if not, then you'd have to submit another ticket or call them or something.
Excellent. So then I would say that wraps up doing this on factual. Obviously, in this situation, we found the business that's on there, but in the case that it's not on there at all, we would just say, no, I'm not on there, and do everything the same way. All right, so that'll be the cut of the video that we use for that section on the Awesome Dynamic Academy. One other thing that I wanted to mention, that sheet that we have for keeping track of the citations, we should definitely upload that into the Awesome Dynamic Academy and have that be linked on the show notes, and we can also have that be available as a resource on this particular lesson as well. Got that, Blake?
I do.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Blake. All right. He was on mute. I think you said your dryer's going in the background. That's why you're keeping yourself on mute now. Let's see here. So looking at this this mix of things, this kind of leads us into our next topic, which is filling out and correcting and optimizing existing citations. And for that, again, the idea of having everything 100% accurate is really important, whether that's on your Facebook page, if it's on Yelp, or anywhere else. I mean, you just look through all these different things on here. You see Angie's List, Yahoo Local, Super Pages, YP for yellowpages.com. You see Mojo Pages, TripAdvisor. I don't know if I already said Facebook, Foursquare. You also see Bing Local, MapQuest, TomTom, Judy's Book, Manta, and City Search is on there too. So there's just literally tons of places where your citations could be. And to that end, well, how do you know what you have? We actually have a report that we can provide you that you can ask us about. But there are some free tools on the internet that you can use. And one of them is through Yext. Although we don't recommend using Yext to manage your citations for you, because find that it's a lot more accurate and you'll get a lot more citation value or ranking value out of doing them by hand. But you can see that Yext.com, they have a system here where I can scan a business. So I'm just going to put in the name of the business. I should probably put in the full accurate name. And then I'm going to put in the phone number of the business and hit scan now. And you can see that this particular tool is providing a whole bunch of different places where the business exists. And you can see that on Yahoo, it's set up to say Closet Organizer Systems Incorporated, spelled out, and it should be INC without a comma or period. Right now we have a comma and it's spelled out, and the phone number is good. This one, we're missing the INC on Facebook. On Bing, we're missing the INC. Here we're missing the INC. Here we have the INC. So this one's pretty good, but you can see that Yext is not flagging those little differences that we're flagging in this video. So those little differences actually affect how you rank in Google. So getting those fixed is really important. Blake is telling me that I'm no, I wasn't broadcasting my screen. So let me broadcast my screen. So just to review what I just said, you could see all the differences. Here's the comma with the incorporated. Here's the version, a whole bunch of versions without the ink, and you see down here, this one's flagging wrong phone number because it doesn't exist, but it didn't flag all those other things that I just mentioned. You know, all the little differences that are here, which are incredibly important to your listing. So the screen that was stuck on was Robin's with that crazy infographic, but everything ties into your Google listing, so it's got to match 100% before you'll start to realize a whole bunch of benefit in people finding you in the search results. So when I go to Google, and let's say I search deposit systems, all right, so it's not producing any local results here. Otherwise, I'd see the push pins. I'm going to search, let's say I live in Libertyville. We can see a local results listed here, but we're not getting a pack of results. Just to show you an example of when it does produce a local pack of results, I'm just going to type in pizza. Okay, so when it produces this, which it could for closets at some time, maybe it's not doing it right now, Google's constantly changing. They're changing things twice a day, so they could be doing some tests on certain types of businesses now. But typically, you'll see this they call it the snack pack come up, and if you're not in this top 3, it could be because all your citations aren't matching 100% exactly. So getting that matching is so important. So this Yext tool gives you is a free tool to find out where all these are, and then what you can do is go to each of these different places to fix these manually. So let's take a look at the Yelp one. So I'm going to click on the Yelp one here. And when I go to Yelp here, some of the when you're talking about fixing citation listings, this one is pretty obvious here. We see edit business info right here on the page. So this is what I would click to go in and update the profile, and even ask me if this is my business. If it is, sometimes they're gonna try and sell you something. So when you see this, you can see if Yelp for business owners is going to try and sell you something. If it is, let's see. By clicking the button, you request to have authority to claim this account on behalf of your business. Okay, so this one isn't going to charge you, but at some point they will try and sell you something. So that's something to keep in mind when you're doing this. But when you come through here, and you want to be able to control, because then you can put pictures on there, you can put videos on there, etc.
And you can also prevent your competitors from making a profile in your name.
Yes, that's a good point as well. That's the Yelp one. Here's the Bing listing. So it brings me to his listing on Bing and suggest an edit, or is this your business? Well, we could say, yeah, this is my business, and click this, and then that would bring me to the screen where it's gonna probably ask me to sign in. Here, it's gonna ask me to sign in, etc. So each one of these listings is going to be very different to claim. You can see back on this page some of the information is provided by Yelp, so you can see that there's some information being passed around here. You might run into a situation where you're with a local chamber or a city organization. For example, I know for sure that my dad is with Main Street Libertyville, which is a organization that promotes businesses specifically in the town. So it's a Main Street organization. And if we look at the business directory and search Main Street. So some of these tools that help you search for so like Yext, it'll actually show where these things show up. So you see that Organizer Systems Inc. And this is one where I can't click a button. I know, because we built this website for this organization. There is no button to click to ask them to manage this listing. So you'd actually have to call the number of the local organization and say, hey, look, it's really important to me to get rid of this comma and get rid of this period so it matches my Google listing 100%. So, and that's something that they'll gladly do for you if you're a member of that organization. All right. So one thing that Robin brought up is okay. Well, first off, you want to fix all these all these different listings that are on here, and it is time consuming. But the end benefit is that you'll begin to rank really well in the search results. And Robin, I'm going to go back to Robin's screen here because she's got a great slide up. Robin, why don't you tell us about this?
So Yext only shows in those results the ones that they sell, and they'll do for you. But if you want a more like neutral list, here's the top 50 from White Spark, and they're a good SEO just resource. And so if you can fill out these top 50, and they determine the top 50 by, what is Google and search engines, what are they looking for, what are the most, there's something called like basically not domain authority, but what's that other word for,
No,
it's kind of like domain authority, but
no, I think domain authority is the proper term to apply here.
okay, so it takes the most important ones and lets you know. So basically, if you want to rank on Google, you have to fill out all of these little ones that maybe you've never heard of, even if no one ever visits these, because that will, if all of these are 100% consistent, you're going to start ranking above your competitors. So if you can do these top 50, you're in pretty good shape, and then later on down the line, you can start doing some more either industry-specific citations or top 100 citations. And when you get that consistency, you're really going to pop up on Google above your competitors because chances are they're probably not even, this is not even on their radar yet.
And just to bring to you, what is the importance of this? Why would I spend tons of time doing this? Because it does take time. If we take a look at this is the 2015 search ranking factors, and the idea that external location signals accounts for 13.6% of the reason why you rank on Google for different search terms. So this is a huge factor. You might be spending a lot of time posting things on Facebook all the time, but that's only really helping you get direct traffic from Facebook. If you're looking to improve your presence online, you could see that 13.6% of the reason why you aren't, and maybe your competitors are, is because this needs to be done, what we just described to you. You need to get the citations fixed and create more than your competitors do, and that could answer the question, well, why is Galati Pizza ranking in front of Pizza Place and Domino's here? It might be that Galati's has more citations that are consistent with their Google listing. There's tons of factors that go into it, like rankings and if the website is good and if it's optimized, etc. But you can see that when we take a look at this pie chart, 13.6% of the reason is attributed to your it's called NAP consistency and citation volume, etc. So it's an important factor in this in the reasons why you rank or don't rank for different search terms that are put into search engines.
And the other item I want to point out about citations is you want to do them gradually. You don't want to have 0 citations one month and then 500 citations next month because it could raise a red flag for Google and get you blacklisted. So you want to fill it out at a good pace. Maybe do like 10 a week.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good. And if you put it into your schedule, it's something that you do once every morning or something like that, and then you'd be at 5 a week or 7 a week or do 2 each morning. That would be perfect. And plan on taking anywhere from 15 minutes to 45 minutes to do each one, but it does make a difference. It just keeps building and building, and that as you do more and more, you'll begin to see it make a difference. So if you look at any of your rankings on any sort of ranking report for your website, you'll see that it starts making a huge difference. You'll start seeing all these other websites come up in the search results for your business as well, which will help you push your competition off the page for the different search terms that they're looking for you, because you have all your NAP consistent. So, and then again, that NAP stands for name, address, and phone number. Couple other side comments about citations in general that I wanted to make sure that we fit into this was with local ease that you have on your screen there, Robin. Let me go back to your screen. I believe you had mentioned that Localese is one that you can fill out free once per year. Is that
Right,
right?
exactly. Yeah, it doesn't look like this is working, but
Oh, they
yeah,
probably
so you only
changed it.
get one chance per year to fill out Localese, and they may have just changed it to you can't fill it out. But
Okay. If
but yeah, so you have to be very careful when you fill this one out. I wouldn't do that one first. Get a couple of citations under your belt, and then do the Localese one, because if you don't fill it out correctly the first time, it costs like $250 for the year to fill it out a second time, and then the biggest problem with that is that it's aggregating data to hundreds of other websites. So you could have some of it right on one website, like say on the one we just did, factual, and then if it's wrong on Localese, it'll confuse other websites which one's right, which one's not right. So it's a huge deal if you fill out even a comma or a period in the wrong place, could make you rank way lower on Google or not
right.
even show up on maps.
So again, and of course, you want your Google listing straight away before you start doing any of the citation work. Make sure it's verified and everything's 100% accurate. And then the other comment is the utility bills or how you're registered with the state. So those are different things that provide data to organizations. So and even your printed invoices, your estimates, your business cards. Any sort of sales sheets that you have, if it has your name, address, and phone number on it, that's information that people are inputting into other systems. So having that 100% matching your Google listing will help mitigate some of that data getting either manually inputted into systems by other people, or if the electric company shares your data with somebody that's putting it into a database, even your magazine subscriptions, just make sure everything's 100% correct. And then you'll not have to be constantly fighting the battle of incorrect information being out there about your business. So I think we've really gotten into, I think, every aspect in general about why citations are so important and all the different ways that they can get out there and kind of overview how to handle them.
Yeah, I would say just to recap how you want to approach citations in terms of payment. Definitely do it yourself, because that's going to give you the most accurate results. And if you don't have the time, you can. I would recommend hiring someone in-house to do that for you, or like an intern or someone and just train them up on it. Or the third option is you can pay for citations, but I would still recommend going back by hand and checking each one of them.
Right. Because the worst thing you could do is get a whole bunch of data out there that's not 100% matching, and like you said, it can be a huge deal and make you actually fall in the rankings as a result. So get it right the first time is important. All right. So that wraps up the citations. Little pause there so Blake can cut that part of the video out. All right. So lastly, we have checking your backlink profile. So let's go to, well, first off, Terry, any questions on any of this stuff so far?
No. I think you've covered it really well. I learned a lot of things myself, and looking forward to passing them along.
Yeah, essentially, this whole citation thing is a huge pain in the butt to do, but it's just so important, and
For now,
it makes a difference. And it's a good point, Robin. For now, who knows? Next year the ranking factors might go down for this, might go up. The citations also provide backlinks, which we're going to talk about in a minute too. But it's something that people don't think about or don't even know is important. It's like you don't know what you don't know, but once you do, you're like, oh my God, this is a huge deal. And then people ask, well, they think that ranking better in Google is something simple. I'm like, oh, can't you just get me above these other guys? And I'm like, well, you look at this whole citation thing, and you think this could take like 50 hours to do. So
and months after that to check them.
Yeah. So it's not just just get a few more reviews and I'm going to rank better. It's a longer term proposition. So okay, let's move on to the last item on our agenda, which was checking your backlink profile. And Robin, you had some awesome tools. that we can bring up? You would
Are
email
you on
me
your
some.
screen?
I'm going to put them on my screen.
Okay.
You email me some of these things, so some of those different tools, and then we'll get into that really quick. Backlink calculator. Got 1, 2, 3. All right. Here we go. And then we'll take a look at Ahrefs. All right. So backlinks. Backlinks are essentially at the core of how the search engines worked at the very beginning. So there was AOL, and Yahoo search was on the scene pretty early on. I don't know if you remember Lycos at all. Lycos was a search engine, but when Google started doing search, one of the largest ranking factors, in fact, the most important ranking factor, was the number and type of links coming into your site from somewhere else out on the internet. And those links were kind of like votes. Like if someone voted for your website, they'd essentially link to your website from their own. So the more votes you'd have for your website, the more likely it is that you'd rank for different things that people might be searching for on your site. So in the world of search engine optimization, there's always people trying to game the system, and people found that if they were able to do like link exchanges or three-way link exchanges, or they buy a whole bunch of links from someone coming to their site, and they found that worked and moved them up in the search engines. But of course, Google is constantly trying to provide value to their customers, which is us. So when we search for something, we're not getting spammy results from people who are trying to game the system. So they have constantly updated their algorithm to include several different factors that go into why you rank online. Some of it's the words that you use on the page. Some of it's the links coming in. I just had the Moz ranking factors 2015, and in today's day and age, 2015, what the SEO experts are finding is that there's all sorts of different things that go into ranking. You can see that link signals isn't 100%; it's down to 20%, but still, that's a big piece of the pie. So those links coming into your website are important. And those could be coming from citations that you do, because those are essentially links coming back. They could be coming from Facebook activity that you're doing, or activity that you do on your Pinterest account. Maybe you get written up in a news organization in your local area, or in a city that's close to you, and they put a link on their website that comes back to you. Those are all different types of links that come in, and how those links come in also make a difference. So there's not all links are created equal. There's different types of links. So there's a tool here that that you can use for.
And on that pie chart,
Sure.
Just an overall trend is Google's moving away from things like backlinks and more calculated mechanical data like that, and moving more of the importance towards good original content. So that's why when the link signals is shrinking, that means the content is really getting, and reviews and things that are more human factors are really becoming more important. And as Google gets, I like to say, smarter, that is going to be really the future of search, is a lot more targeted searches that really match the real reason why you're searching for that term.
That's a great point, and I want to expand on that just a little bit. So content is the only thing that has not changed. So all the different things that Google is changing their algorithm all the time. It always has been content is king, meaning that the text that you write, the images that you embed on your site, the videos that you have on there, the quality and the value and the meaning and what you're putting on your pages is of the utmost importance. If you do a really good job of providing meaning and value to people who land on your website through the content that you write, the text, pictures, videos, etc., then you're going to enjoy really good rankings. So that's something that that really has not changed in all of all the different things that have changed in SEO. If you provide really good content, you will rank well for it. I remember there's a gentleman in the SE or in the networking group that I'm in that used to be the coroner for Lake County, Illinois, and he wrote a blog post about 10 years ago about the different dangers of DUI and driving and some of the different accidents that came in. And this article, he said, still ranks really well today, and he wrote it 10 years ago. And that's because the quality of the article was just really phenomenal. So having really good content is always important. But getting into the links, Google evaluates this 20% in a very specific way, and you can see here it says inbound anchor text, linking domain authority, and linking domain quantity, etc. So anchor text is essentially the words that are linked. So you see how this word says marketing industry and it's a link. That's the text of this link is marketing industry, and if I look at the bottom down here on my screen, it shows me where that will go. And just to kind of deconstruct how this looks, I'm going to click on this link here, and you can see in this area here, the link is called, and that's why it's called Ahrefs, the tool, is the A tag of the code says when these words, marketing industry, that's the anchor text, when those words are clicked, it's going to bring me to this website. So these words, marketing industry, is that anchor text. And one way people used to game the system a few years ago is having a whole bunch of links come into their homepage or something like that. So they put this to be their homepage, and then they put a whole bunch of links all over the internet with the word that they wanted to rank for. And that worked pretty well for a little while, but nowadays Google's looking for a more what they call natural link profile, meaning it's not practical. If they see 5,000 links coming in for marketing industry into their website, that's not very natural. What would be more natural is someone might write a blog and put the word here, H-E-R-E, and link that word to the website, or it might say cmoz.com as the anchor text, and then it would go here. Or there could be any number of different words that are linked, but the words itself, if that looks unnatural, Google's actually going to see that that's unnatural and rank you accordingly. So having a very normal link profile is important, but some people don't even know what they have, or they did SEO in the past, and because that technique worked in the past, but now they're finding it's hurting them, or they don't know it's hurting them because they're going down the search results. This Ahrefs tool kind of gives you an idea of what's happening. So this tool is it's limited, free to use, and you can start your 14-day trial. And I have an account with them, and I have a paid account for one of my clients. They paid for their own account here, which we'll take a look at their link profile here. So they have a situation where there's two different types of backlink types in terms of how they're classified, either do follow or no follow. And then there's also the anchor text, which I was just talking about a moment ago. So let's take a look at the anchor text. In this tool, we can go to anchors here. And that'll bring up his anchors. And when you use the free version of this tool, it'll restrict the amount of data it will show you. But when you use the paid version, it gives you a lot more data. I'm hoping this comes up sometime soon here. There we go. He's got a lot of data here. So we can see here, if I backlink type, let's see. So links internal, external. All right. So he's got, it looks like 1,879 links coming into his website to with the words Shopify analysis. He's got 18,063 coming into his website with the word Pinterest. Some that say like our page, some that say follow. He actually has a very good diverse link profile here. Download our app store. So these are the words that are being linked to his website. So sometimes what I see is someone's done SEO in the past and they did a lot of link building with another company. They have like a ton of links. All their links say like the keywords that they want to rank for, and they don't have a very diverse profile of different anchor text. I want to show you the situation I have with our website because that method did work. I'm going to sign in. Let's see. All right, sign in. So this looks like it's the same here. That's because we're looking at Dr. Lamb. Here's Star Home Team. Okay, let me show you how this tool works if you just sign up for the free account, because this is a free account. So I'm going to remove this. All right, so I'm going to just put awesomedynamic.com at a site. Okay, and just hit next. Here, save and close. And then this will come up in a moment and give me some data on my website. And the issue that we have, I'm going to show you, is that all the websites that we've created for our clients, at the bottom of those sites, I had a link at the bottom that says Web Development by Awesome Dynamic or Web Design by Awesome Dynamic, and all those links coming into the site are all the same. And so I'm really not balanced in my profile. You could see that if I go to anchors here, and then once I explain a little bit of this, we'll say, okay, well, what do I do about it? So here we could say that I have 230 links coming into my website that have the words Awesome Dynamic. I have 249 coming in that say Web Development, and then you could see it drops off dramatically. I don't have a very even distribution of different types of links. So what I should have is more that say maybe awesomedynamic.com. I should have some that say search engine optimization, some that say online marketing, some that say SEO, some that say, you can see that there's even a difference between people linking the text that says the domain with the slash, without the slash, so there's some diversity. So just like in your, if you have investments, investments with money in the marketplace or anywhere, they always say you want a diverse portfolio of investments, being savings, stocks, bonds, offshore investments, international investments versus national investments, etc. The same holds true for your anchor text profile. You want to have a diverse portfolio of different types of anchor text coming into your site. So we actually control a lot of these because we put them on the sites that we launched. But if you're looking at people linking to your website from other places on the internet, you want to make sure that that's diversified a little bit. And that includes the text that you put in your Facebook post that link back to your site, etc. So I also want to take a quick look at the idea of the do follow and don't follow. So you see here that do follow links, I have 91% do follow and 9% no follow. And do follow is essentially links that that don't have a special coding behind them that tells the search engines not to follow that link to the next place. And what's natural, according to Google, is you want a 50-50 split. So because we've been putting the words Web Development and Awesome Dynamic, that link back to, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by something. Thank you for that info, Robin. For the do follow, don't follow, we want a 50-50 split because I've been putting all these links on these websites that come back into awesomedynamic.com, and I didn't put the no follow tag on it. You can see that my distribution is kind of off here. We want to see 50-50. So whenever you post something on Facebook that links back to your site or Pinterest or any of those sites, they actually automatically make all your links no follow. So in order to balance this out, I could either go back and fix these links, or I can create a whole bunch of no follow links that come through. So there's different things that could be done there. But Robin mentioned that there's an overall posi rank chart of, or overall chart of yeah, there's an overall chart of how this works. And Robin, your comment, Robin's mentioning that this is pretty hard to follow. Terry, is this pretty hard to follow for you too?
A little bit.
Okay. Okay. So maybe
we should back up for a little bit.
Yeah, well, and we're running. We only have 4 minutes left, so I think maybe we need to come back into explaining this with a more simpler plan of attack. What's that?
I can do this one part really quick. Anchor text, just learning anchor text. I got something up on my screen here.
Okay.
That should just take a minute.
And we can just slice that into a tiny video. Let me see what Robin has here. Okay, so I'm going to share your screen, Robin. So if you'd explain anchor text, that'd be great.
Okay, so for every page on your website that you want ranked, you should have one keyword that it focuses around. So I picked the keyword search engine optimization because that's what I want to rank for on Google. So if I'm writing a blog, or if I have a page all about my search engine optimization service, I don't want to do something like this where it says click here and this is my anchor text, because then on Google I'm trying to show Google that I'm trying to rank for the words click here when I really want to rank for the word search engine optimization. So if I rewrite that sentence like this is a better example, is click here for more information on search engine optimization. Even though you don't have the click here linked, it's fairly obvious to a human that this is the link, and if they want that, it's underlined in blue and most people know to click on that link. But if you want to make it even better, this is a more natural sentence saying search engine optimization is a great way to get your website ranked, and then if people don't know what search engine optimization is, or if they just, you want the link, they can just link right here and your anchor text is going to rank. So just a quick overview on anchor text and the best way to integrate it into your website in a way that Google finds friendly.
Okay, yes, and this is exactly the correct technique when you're doing it on your own website. But when you're looking at links, backlinks coming in, the opposite, or the blend of different types of text coming in becomes more important. So, but we'll cover that in another video. I need to come up with a better way to present that so it's not so confusing. Because when you're looking at backlinks coming in, having some of them be click here and different versions of the anchor text is important, because what happened I'd say 3 or 4 years ago, they used exactly what you presented, but on all the sites all over the internet coming into the site, and that was working really well. But then Google said, well, that's really unnatural in terms of a backlink portfolio, and then they started moving people down if they had too many anchor text with the exact keywords. So internally, this is a great technique, but externally, with links coming into your site, things have changed.
Right.
So, okay. Well, Blake, I don't know how we're going to cut up that last set of videos there, but we'll figure something out. But the first two I think are solid, and then this last one.
Explaining backlinks is like explaining how Google's algorithm works. It's very in-depth.
Right. Maybe it needs to be cut up into several snippets.
Yeah, I was thinking it might be we go into what a backlink profile is, and then we go into what makes a good backlink profile as a whole nother course, which is the inbound, outbounds, the anchor text, the deep links, all that stuff. Because even for me, it's not hard to follow. It's just a lot of information, so it's tough. It's a tough course.
Right. What do you think, Terry?
I think we need to simplify that a little bit too. And pardon me, I think the background on that would help as well. And I think it's also important that we point out that all this can be done by us completely, or the people could also be looking at it on the Academy or on some consulting basis as well, but a lot of different options for us to help or get you going to get these things taken care of.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess since we're at 1:30, we'll wrap it up. So thank you for those of you that have attended, and thank you for those of you that have watched the recording on YouTube. We really appreciate your checking it out. Robin's pulling up the Awesome Dynamic Academy. Again, it's going to be $50 a month membership. You get all sorts of information on how to get yourself found on Google. And we also have awesomedynamic.com where you can have us take care of your search engine optimization, your responsive web design, Amazon seller consulting, and getting a virtual tour. And if you liked what you heard here, Robin, you want to scroll down to the bottom and click on that Google logo? Go to awesomedynamic.com, click on the little Google button there, and you can write a review, a 5-star review about how much we've helped you, and we'd love to get that from you. So that would be a great thank you from you to us for any information that you found was great. Loved it. Right? All right, cool. Well, again, thank you for joining us, and we'll be back again next week.